In this video, I'm going to show you how I created automation in Salesforce to create follow-up tasks as well as log activities when your users go through certain steps in the process. So this particular customer has Advendio managed package on top of Salesforce. So their account object is called Advertiser. So I'm going to go through the process of creating a new advertiser and go through all of the different stages that we have so that you can see how the activities are logged and how the follow-up tasks are automatically created in the system. So I'm going to first go and create a new advertiser. I don't need to fill out any information here. Okay, so the advertiser status has defaulted to prospect, and that's what happens when a new advertiser is created. And then it just logged the activity, new prospect advertiser. So the next thing we need to do is send the advertising agreement. So when that is done, then the system logs the activity that the advertising agreement was sent. And before I did have a task to remind them to send the advertising agreement, but they decided they didn't need that anymore. So we took that step out because that's the first thing they do after they create an account. And then there is a follow-up activity automatically created that says follow-up advertising agreement sent. You want to make sure that you get it signed. So that is the first task that they wanted. So let's say that it has been accepted, and then they changed the stage to accepted. And then it automatically put in the manager because it was blank. So I have that set up just in case they forget to do that. And it sent an email alert to the manager to approve this advertising agreement. So that's all the automation there. And it also logged the activity that the advertising agreement was accepted. And it closed the task that said follow up advertising agreement sent. So did that. And then it created a new task to review the advertising agreement. And that is assigned to Sheridan, who is the manager. So I'm going to pretend that I'm Sheridan. I'm going to go in here and approve it. And then what it did was it logged the activity that it was approved by the manager, and it closed the task that said review because she's already done that. And now there's no more open activities. So everything for this customer has been completed up to this point so that now they can make a purchase. So I did the same type of automation for the purchase. So instead of an opportunity, Advendio has what's called a media campaign. So think of a media campaign as an opportunity. So I'm going to go in here and create a new sample media campaign. I'm just filling out very minimal stuff here, just as an example. Then I'm going to go into that new media campaign, and I'm just going to add some items to this campaign. So think of this as products that you would add to an opportunity record. Okay, so now that we have the products added to the campaign, we look at the activity history, and it says insertion order first contact. So that is when the stage equals first contact. So when a campaign is created, the stage is automatically set to first contact, and it logs that activity so that you can see what you've done. And then it also creates a task that says send insertion order to advertiser. So in the creation of an account, they're going to automatically send the advertising agreement when the account is created. So they did not need a task to remind them to do that. But for the campaign, it could take a little bit more time to add the campaign items to the campaign. So they wanted the task to remind them to send the insertion order to the advertiser when they have it ready. So that's that. So after you send the insertion order, you update the stage to sent. And then if you look at the activity history, it says insertion order sent. It closed the task that said send insertion order to advertiser because now that's done. Before we did not have any of our automation automatically closing the tasks. And then we had a whole bunch of open tasks that looked like nobody had done anything. So they wanted me to build some automation in Salesforce to automatically close the open tasks when the activity was completed. So that's why that's there. And then there's an open activity that says follow up, insertion order sent, because we need to get it signed. So the next stage is booked. That's when they sign the insertion order and agree to the purchase. So after that's done, then it says insertion order was booked on this date and making sure that all the other tasks were closed. And then the open activities, it says for the manager to review the insertion order. That's why it's assigned to her, because I'm logged in as Claudia. So in here, it says the manager is Sheridan and it was sent to her for approval. Let's pretend that I'm Sheridan and I'm approving it. Then it closed that task that says review insertion order for Sheridan because she did that. So all she had to do is update this field to say approved and it automatically closed the reminder for her. So she didn't have to do 2 steps to update the field and remember to close the task. So this really saved a lot of time for this customer and their employees. And then it created an activity that says follow up with the client. And this was when the media campaign ends because we're hoping that we can sell another campaign to them to keep some more ads running in the future. So that's the automation that I created in Salesforce to automatically log all the activities that have happened and close all of the open tasks once that task has been completed.